welcome back. Well, you guys have made it to your destination for the day, the Velvet Crown. It's a much larger and spacious tavern and inn than the one you were previously staying at. Like I mentioned, it's kind of a very similar layout in that you have the tavern area. The stage is even kind of in the same place, and the bar is off to the right, and it has stables outside on the exact same side as the Bronze Fist Inn, except this place is probably twice the size on the inside, and you notice from the outside that there's an extra floor on the top. When you walk in, the atmosphere sort of changes to a very lively sort of just something that exudes confidence, as Vael and Alina are kind of at the front of your group at the moment. And Lady Alaris is sitting at the bar with a drink in hand. You can see that behind the bar there are very large kegs just kind of mounted to the ceiling, and it seems to be on some sort of almost like a track. There's as if they can rotate out. And a lot of the decor in here are red drapes and plush velvety chairs. You can see immediately why it's called the Velvet Crown. A lot of the fixtures in here are a gold color. You see sconces that have, instead of being magical, they all seem to be candles and lanterns, like things that could just run on flame alone. And she kind of, seeing Alina and Vael, she kind of waves you all over. It's a bit of a walk to the bar, and there's a lot of people already in here drinking and eating.
Nyra and Leif already inside.
You guys kind of all convened on the outside. They took a while to get here because they didn't have Vael guiding them like you guys did.
Should have threw a dartboard at the city to find where this place is.
I may have been a little distracted, okay?
You guys probably near missed it a couple of times because Nyra was so inside her own head.
Hey, that was our exit. Will you pay attention?
Don't
His
backseat drive.
His voice is too shot from the day before to really get.
You really got to quit smoking.
A little bit of black smoke.
I said it was good for me.
That's canon for that's canon for how his voice has to sound now.
I'll see how long I can do this.
Just kidding, I won't do that to you.
Try me.
We only do that to David on Saturdays.
Yeah. And he likes it, so.
True.
Yes, well, speaking of which, why were you so flustered? What happened back there?
Nyra, looks around at how packed this place is for this time of day. She's like, we can speak in private.
Understood. Well, speaking of which, let's make that happen. Vael will go around to meet with Lady Alaris.
Yeah, you kind of weave your way through the crowd. It's a very... You can see why certain people were saying that they might not fit in here. Everyone here, you don't see a single person that looks like they're from the field ward. You could tell right away looking at people from the field ward that they have soot and little nicks and tears in their clothing and stuff, even though their clothing is still pretty finely made. Here, everyone is pristine. they just are like decked out in jewelry as well. Even tables where there's like you could probably fit like 5 people. There's people having like private one-on-one sort of meetings together at these tables, and their tables are full of food despite there being only 2 of them. And you make it across to the bar where Lady Alaris is waiting, and she is just like, well, you made it. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be in good hospitality after the night we've had.
Everything went okay for all of you?
Well, all except my traveling companion. It turns out his walk was a little too close to the beacon when it erupted.
What is Leif doing right now? Because you guys were kind of coddling him a little bit at the Bronze Inn, so I'm wondering if he's walking on his own now, or you guys are walking with him.
You mean
You're
David,
muted.
David. So mad about it too.
Let him out of his box.
I think Leif is doing his best to walk on his own and trying to refuse anybody's help, at least at first.
All right.
Leaning up against things, trying to make it look like he's fine. He's not. It's not working very well, but he's trying.
I imagine Raelynn and Nyra are just like nearby, ready to catch it. There.
You're helicopter parenting Leif right now. That is unfortunate, though. I am also glad to hear that it's survivable.
Well, he was the only survivor from what we saw.
So that's about half the people. Seems like a pretty good survival rate.
She kind of cracks a smile at that, but then she's like, "Oh, that means somebody died." Like she kind of brushes that. No one that you knew. So.
Not intimately.
Okay. And I will not give you my condolences, but I am sorry to hear that you've been injured. I hope that you recover quickly.
I'll be fine.
She just gives a very unconvinced nod. Perhaps.
Yes, he said the same thing when he took 8 arrows in the back for me.
And I was
of course,
fine.
He did turn out to be fine. That was impressive.
Yeah, I was right.
So I'm sure he's all right.
A very sturdy fellow then. Well, I suppose then you need a comfortable night's rest. I can guarantee that here at least.
Good. And on that note, actually, I've been asked a favor of Lord Kael to make sure that he has a room here as well.
Oh, that's a first. All right. Well, did he say what type of room he would like?
You should think it shouldn't be too far away from mine.
Oh, well, there you have it. The room
I
next
see.
to Lena's, if you can manage.
All right. Well, that one will be 6 gold pieces a night.
I'll cover the difference.
Well, speaking of Lena, she kind of looks over to the corner where the stage is. currently you can hear some music coming from that area, but you don't see anybody on stage. You see several instruments that look like the music that could be being played, but you don't see anyone actually playing them at the moment. And you can see that there's lots of like lighting, like lanterns hanging down at the top of the stage. There's this red velvet curtain draped over it. The stage is very spacious, and she says, I know that you're a solo performer, but we do have ways of aiding our performers as well with additional instruments. If there is any particular sound you would like to add to your set.
I would appreciate that. And speaking of your clientele, should it be a little less bawdy than last night?
I think those types of songs do have a place here, but you might want to wait till the late hours of the evening.
There's several drinks in.
Exactly. A lot of the people here like to have private, important conversations. So something that can serve as a little bit of a easy to listen to backdrop to begin would be probably the best route to go if you're looking to make extra coin this evening.
That I can do.
Right, well, she's going to kind of wave behind the bar, and you see that there are 3 people tending to the bar, 2 human women and a man who is kind of difficult to tell. He looks dwarvish, but he looks pretty tall for a dwarvish man, and a little bit more slender, but just like a broad man. And one of the women with like long, sleek red hair comes over, and she just very, very quietly, like her voice is very soft. She goes, yes, miss. And she goes, these are the guests that I've been waiting for this evening. She points to, she kind of gestures to Alina, Nyra, and Raelynn. This is Lena. She'll be our entertainment for the evening, and the other 2 are her manager, I believe. And she kind of gestures to Raelynn. And then she kind of gestures at Nyra, and she's like, I'm sorry, I actually... Have we really said anything to each other? She looks at Nyra.
I believe you were busy last night, preoccupied with the show.
Yes.
I perform fortunes for people once they've had a few drinks, I suppose.
Oh. Well, it looks like we'll be having 2, perhaps if you're looking to make extra coin, you're completely welcome to set up here. But she's going to tell her, I'll need their room key, and this was Vael, who I told you about, and
Avalus.
or Avalus, sorry. That's Vixx, not Alars. And his bodyguard, was it?
Sure, let's call him that.
We'll need their room keys, but you'll also want to get the key for number 5 as well. And the woman goes off and fetches you guys your keys, and Alaris just kind of continues with any sort of light chit chat while that's being tended to. If there's anything that you guys want to talk to her about, feel free to. Otherwise, eventually you're served your room keys, and it looks like, Alina, you have room 4, and it's on the top floor. And Vael, you have room 1, and you're given the key for room 5 as well.
Okay.
And room 1 is on the second floor.
All right then. Do these rooms have baths?
Are you asking that in character or
Nope, just asking you.
They do have baths. They have their it's a similar layout, but except where the wash basin was in your room, there is like a full bathroom in there.
Well, Leif, perhaps you can go scrub some of those char marks off your back.
That'd probably be a good idea.
And much to Leif's relief, both of these rooms have just massive beds. Each like little suite off to the side has a huge bed in it.
Incredible.
Though I guess maybe a little bit to if Alina, Nyra, and Raelynn are sharing a room, you also have that same setup. So there are 2 beds and a couch.
No big deal.
As we begin to head upstairs, if we have privacy, I would like to invite the guys. If you want to follow us, we can finally get Nyra to open up as to what happened this morning.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Leif, if you wouldn't mind putting off your bath for a few extra minutes and making it up an extra flight of stairs.
Yeah, no, I can wait.
I don't think those marks will come off anyway.
I tried asking her earlier and she wouldn't tell me, so maybe she'll tell you.
Vael, you might have to help him scrub.
I can manage.
No, I think you could use an extra set of hands.
Well,
Are
I do
you
have
offering-
3, and he does this, and a mage hand appears in the middle.
No worries.
All right, so we're all going
All
to
right.
corner you in a room.
Yeah.
Yep, we're all gonna corner her in the room. Doors
She
closed,
looks-
locked, latched.
Did you leave before we could make a connection that the person you were freaking out over was Kael?
Only one person got it.
Yeah, only I saw.
Okay.
She made the check. And I rolled a 1, I think.
Oh, that's right. You got like a 4 or something.
I rolled a 3 or something.
Yay for mediocrity! So, Nyra,
Mm.
what happened?
All right. Nyra is like way more put together than Brittany is. I'm giggling about this, and I'm trying really hard not to. There was someone in the tent that I recognized from back home, and as your aunt requested, she looks at we weren't supposed to let people know we are down here or anything we're doing, so I thought I stick out, so I thought it best if I just not be around.
Who was it that you saw?
A merchant.
Are you close
didn't-
with this merchant?
No. Not close. No.
Insight check. Can I?
Sure. She didn't seem to
Okay.
know him well.
Did you know he was our sponsor before
What?
making that run?
What?
Kael Vesryn. I saw you looking at him in the tent. He was the one, right?
No, that's Kaelin Zelthar.
Oh, well,
I'll
now
spell
it's
it.
starting to make sense.
Zlethar.
So Kael and 2 different people?
I think I don't really know him at all.
He knew me. So, if anything, that should give you comfort that you don't stick out. You're not the only one.
He's not from here either. This Kael. We found ourselves having to lie for each other. The caravan mistress was quite suspicious that yet another friends of Kala came in with trade permits signed by Kael.
And Kala, you copied hers, right?
Mhm.
So
I don't think we're the first.
But he
Bella
did help
seemed to
us,
be a...
and we know he's from the north, and I don't think you have anything to worry about unless you have some sort of unpleasantness between you two.
no unpleasantness.
Or some lost pleasantness.
No. We have not spoken much over the years. How do you think one would get a title like he has here to be able to give out work permits?
I was hoping to find that out tonight. He's coming here and we're supposed to talk.
I don't know if he should know if I'm here or not. I don't want to go against the lady's wishes, but
If it gives you comfort, I told him your name was Lily. I didn't give him your real name.
she laughs a little at that.
I panicked.
Is there anything specific that could go wrong if he sees you, especially, knowing he knows we're not from here?
Yeah, we are kind of in the hornet's nest here, and he's going to be in the room next to yours, so I think it's best if you tell us what it is we're risking.
I was planning
You-
inviting him to our room specifically,
Oh,
under the guise
oh.
of an invitation from the singer, in order to have a private conversation with him and all of us.
He before I knew he was Kael Vesryn, I would have said he would do nothing to harm me, but I don't think I know him at all. I mean, I didn't think I really knew him before.
You think he'd harm you?
I don't. Okay, this is a complicated story. In the Oasis, our high priest receives visions. Usually coming storms, things to prepare for to protect our people, always for the benefit gifted by Irsha. But when I was 8, came of age, and went on my trial, he received a vision about me. And I have yet to agree with that vision.
Agree? As in, like, it hasn't come to pass yet?
As in, I haven't said yes to marrying Kael.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
We don't do arranged marriages in the Oasis usually. My parents and all my aunts and uncles have married for love. So and he's a bit older than I am, so they've given me time.
Well, it sounds to me like what you ought to do is get to know him and give love a chance.
So was the vision that had you two together, if this isn't an arranged marriage?
It was the priest saying our union would bring peace and prosperity to my people, which is something I have been struggling to decide on. But when I went on my trial,
no, bring the opposite of peace and prosperity?
when I went on my trial and I found my stone, I also saw a vision. but I haven't made sense of what Ishura was trying to tell me yet. And there are rumors about him on the Oasis. I mean, everywhere gossips, but something about him, I just have never, I haven't been able to prove one way or the other what is the right thing to do.
Rumors. Moral rumors, reputation, good, bad, untrustworthy.
He's a well-known merchant, silver tongue. He's good with people, but sometimes things come up about him that I can't verify, which is frustrating as the Watchers. My family awaits an answer. I'm supposed to give one when I get back home.
And does he know that you're supposed to marry him due to this vision?
Oh, yes. He's been well aware of it. But he hasn't pushed it because he is several years older than me, and I was freshly of age when it happened.
I don't want you to feel like you have to hide away, but I also don't want to put you in an awkward conversation. I can have a conversation with him in his room.
I think I need to talk to him. It's hard to know what is truth here.
We need to read your fortune.
That'd be something. The cards are strangely accurate, but maybe that is Ishurel.
You never know what method he could use. I think you've helped bring clarity to at least a couple people so far.
And led
Maybe
to at least one death.
I think you have the right idea about things. You should face this head on, and if anything goes wrong, your friends are here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to meet him downstairs. We will be attending the performance.
I think you would be very shocked to see me down there. Even with Raelynn. Probably more so, actually. Tishani's often left alone by the rest.
Terrible crime, in my opinion.
We get to do what we want, really. Kind of nice.
Oh,
Must be
absolutely.
freeing.
But so disconnected.
Well, I told him I'd invite him to my room. It wasn't under any pretense of being real, other than to outside observers. If you want to wait there, Leif, you can crash in our room during tonight's performance if you don't want to be downstairs. I'm not saying you can't, but if you need to rest a little longer, just have a good old-fashioned room party when he arrives.
You may find your voice soothing, though.
I want to see the show.
I will try to stay out of sight. I would be interested to see if he comes alone.
Whatever you need from us, we're here for you, Nyra. We need to throw him out in the process we can.
Thank you.
I'll look to you for direction.
I will try to figure it out, but I have been struggling for 6 years.
Well, you don't have to figure it out alone.
How old I am now, yeah. He's been waiting a long time for an answer.
He can wait a little longer.
What has Leif been like standing or like sitting during this conversation?
Yeah,
There is
he's-
like a
He's been leaning up against the wall, very much relying on it to keep him upright.
I think what you've noticed in that, like a little bit out of the ordinary, not that Chinook's not a friendly dog to everyone and anyone. He's kind of just been sitting beside you. Just like, you know, when like a dog kind of knows something's up and just is like hovering near your
Mm-hmm.
where you're sitting or standing. He just
What, man?
looks up at you. All right, so you guys kind of wrap up this conversation with Nyra. It's still fairly early in the day, so you guys can kind of go about whatever you need to go about. What is like the next big thing you guys are looking at doing?
Resting up for the evening. What time is it?
It's probably, so you guys left fairly early in the morning, right? To go
Yeah.
to the
Mhm.
trade district.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Took
Stopped
about an
at
hour
the
to get
tent.
there. It's probably like noonish now.
Yeah. I'm just gonna clean up and rest until like dinner time, till it's closer to the performance kind of deal.
All right.
I'll offer to braid Nyra's hair in the way that Raelynn and Alina have.
Hopefully
Kind
they'll
of-
hide the flames.
Just like kind of initiate you into some of like the school things that we used to do together.
Things to soothe you,
Aw.
like head massages,
Mhm.
playing with your hair,
Is this things you did at that school?
perhaps.
It depends on the day.
That's where it started anyway.
Also kissing.
Also,
Also practice kissing.
I mean, Alina had to learn she was by somewhere.
she won't say it, but she's enjoying the doting.
Mhm. Yes, we will dote on our friend.
Very much the opposite that you get at home with your brothers. Someone taking care of you.
Mm. Yeah, nice.
Meanwhile, while Leif's in the bath, a mage hand just appears and picks up the brush and stuff.
Good luck.
Aw.
Where
You
did
should
it
Let
come
Vael
from?
love
someone in
you.
once in a while, Leif.
Not from you.
Chinook lets out a bark because he's been sitting behind your bathtub the entire time.
What is this obsession? I love it.
He smells the evil.
All right, so some friendly sisterly bonding and trying to bond for Vael and kidding block.
Does any of the charring come like get loose? Like, is it like bad skin falling off, or?
Yeah, what's going on back there?
Yeah,
I'd
okay.
tell you if you'd unlock the door.
Actually,
You've
it'd
been
be
to the
Vael
bathhouse
to tell
together.
you.
I was gonna say, you just ask if you want to see him naked.
Just want to help.
Yeah, I mean, Leif has a difficult time seeing this, but I guess if we're doing this more like cinematically, what you would see is while he's trying to like wash his back, for one, it's very sore. Like trying to, if you try to scrub it, you're feeling very tender there. And the other thing is like, it's not burnt flesh in terms of it being like charred. It's burnt flesh and like what you would see from a scar from a burn. So everything back there's kind of like a sort of it's almost like a sort of diamond shaped scarring with some veining through it, and it is all very bumpy, and it's mostly on like the right half of Leif's back. But as you're like washing it, none of it really falls away. It looks like you've had that scar forever at this point after Nyra has healed it.
Crazy magic.
There's like bits of it that seem like maybe your flesh has been burnt. There's bits of it that feel like maybe some necrotic energy has gotten into certain parts of it. It all just feels very like a mashing of different effects that have hit your back.
I think he's just like a sponge on a stick and just poking it in different places.
Yeah, feeling it out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like to the middle of your back from your shoulder blade. It goes all the way down.
Thinking, there's got to be a cool story to make out of this.
I mean, blowing up a lay beacon, that is a pretty cool story already.
Yeah. But you can always aggrandize it a little bit.
And despite what everyone was saying in terms of you being a dumbass, it was pretty heroic regardless.
Two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah, you all finish up getting rested up for the evening. Unlike
and
at
some
the
point during that, I would have just discussed with Alaris like what kind of background instrumentation to add in and stuff.
Yeah, you kind of go over like your set list and whatnot. She also lets you know that there are people here who are kind of designated to kind of walk around and gather tips for you and give them to you at the end of the night, or to your manager if you would prefer. Nyra also gets like directed to I think Alaris directs her to one of the booths at the back of the building because it looks a little bit more kind of mysterious. There's a round table and then like a round circular seating area that has velvety cushioning, and there's also like a draped thing that can close shut. And she kind of lets you set up there with your cards and whatnot. Vael, you're one invited to use Alaris's private booth that is like kind of up on this like sort of like balcony that leads to there's like a balcony around it and then rooms going off to the next floor's rooms. There's seating area up there. She tells you that she's not going to be really available to sit and watch this evening, but that you're welcome to use that area if you'd like.
Fair enough. Yep, I think he'll set up there just for the sheer point of it's a good vantage point for the whole tavern.
And if Leif joins you, it also kind of tucks him out of the way of
That's a good point.
being obvious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you kind of enjoy just a quiet afternoon in the city as you guys prepare for the evening. Unlike at the Bronze Fist Inn, when you noticed there was a definite change in the lower floor atmosphere when people started coming into the bar area, this tavern seems to just remain like high energy the entire time. There's no like lull in the business. But eventually evening comes. Because of the time of year, it gets dark pretty early on in the day. So around like 4, you're already seeing a little bit of like sunset outside. Lower light, especially because of all the buildings around. And Alina, you are able to make your way up on stage. She kind of gives you the rundown that usually she expects, maybe like like a 6-hour sort of situation with a 1-hour break in the middle. So kind of from like the peak business hour to close is when you would be expected to be performing. Of course, you're one woman show, so she doesn't expect you to keep it up the whole time. Just be coming and going as you need to.
9 minutes at a time, right?
You can roll a performance, and Raelynn, also, if you are kind of doing the same thing where you're kind of managing the crowd and letting them know about Alina, you can also roll whatever you feel like you're using persuasion if you want to kind of help her along and getting paid.
Raylan's probably not doing that this time. I think she had enough work last night from doing that. She'll walk around and want to listen to rumors once people start really picking up, but she worked a lot last night, so.
Are you gonna have like your own seat then, or are you gonna like join Vael up on the balcony? What do you think Raelynn is gonna do while she's resting and not listening?
Vael's with Leif?
Yes.
So I'm not intruding on anything. Okay, I'll spend the time with the boys then.
Well.
Okay, I'm sorry, boys.
You can't say that after you denied my help in the bath.
Yeah.
You gotta pick a side.
You lost your shit. Maybe Leif has a thing about it, wanting it to be public, you know? He's an exhibitionist.
Maybe. We'll find out.
He
15 isn't bad, but I do have 2 inspirations right now.
It's true.
I'm gonna use one. Let's see. Well, there we go.
All right. Well, that was a sliding scale of how much.
Big read.
Oh, hey, Captain Cantrips. Welcome in. Ash, David, welcome in. Other David, not you, David.
I was like, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, welcome in. We are currently at a tavern awaiting our Alina's performance for the evening. And she just rolled a natural 20 on her performance check, so. Alina, how closely then do you adhere to the kind of vibe that Alaris gave you, and how quickly do you feel she gets into the more body lively sort of thing?
I'll follow what we set out. This is an invitation, so I don't want to, not that like I am a real live in Mournhold bard, but with the appearance of keeping up, what the boss wants.
Right.
And save the more flirtatious songs for like the very, very end of the evening.
So what instruments did Alina request then for the beginning of her set?
What are the options in our fantasy world?
Pretty much anything you can think of. You saw
just a magical Michelle on the bass, just like swinging his hair in the background.
Don't make me picture that right now.
He's blushing. Yeah, it's pretty. There's like classical. Do you have like cellos? You have
we'll do some more strings. We'll add in a little percussion.
Perfect. Yeah, you
round out the sound.
You definitely create this very cozy atmosphere. There's still a bit of liveliness to it. It's almost like you're trying to get people transitioned into more of the livelier tunes, and you do a very good job at kind of piecing it all out. While that is happening, Nyra, do you actually sit up here, or are you hiding at the moment?
If she's alone, I don't think she would do it.
So everyone's sort of taking the night off from their usual
it must be nice.
Would Nyra have wanted to do it? Because I'm sure in our little girl time, if you said you wanted to do it, I would stay there as like a bodyguard for you.
She likes doing it because, not because she's good at it, but just because it's how she finds things out. It's like her only way she's been able to find out stuff that's happening, and she keeps hearing about weird stuff in other towns. So if we're still looking to like track down information, but if people want to just take the night off,
I mean,
it's also fine.
Raelynn's always looking for information, so I'll hang
Yeah,
out with you. Sorry, boys.
and then if he arrives, he doesn't get a reading. Sorry.
I have the cards ready if you want them.
Sorry, not
Right.
sorry. We don't have to.
Just
We
so
don't
you
have to play. If anyone interesting comes, she'll do the usual spiel in the beginning, trying to ask like just information about what they do, where they're from, what they're looking to learn, because then she sort of learns stuff that way.
Alrighty. Oh, gotta find something. All right. About, I would say maybe like 6:30-ish. Vael and Leif, as you're sitting up at the most advantageous spot, you are the first to notice. Well, actually, I guess only Vael would, because Leif kind of got carted out before he knew who this person was. Vael, you you notice that Kael enters the building, and he's not alone. He's with an elf who has no hair. He's wearing a purple sort of a vest, and then dark clothing underneath it. All of it seems very like loose and almost sort of deserty. Very tall, muscular man with him. And Kael takes a few steps in, kind of moves out of the way of the door so other people can pile in. He kind of seems to clock Alina on the stage, but she's in the middle of a performance at the time, but he does give her a nod if she sees him. Totally up to you what Alina's doing, but you do have a good view of the door from where you are.
Should smile back.
I think Vael will kind of stand up and make his presence known and wave him over.
I think Leif suddenly lurches a little bit, having dozed off slightly. I realized that with all this exhaustion, my passive perception is a 7 right now, so I noticed nothing.
All right. Yeah, it takes him a second, but as soon as he does get your line of sight, he does kind of scans to see where the way up is and begins to make his way over. But he says something to the elvish man that he's with, and they kind of split off, and he goes to the bar and orders himself a drink. Seems to settle in there. And actually, Nyra, what is your passive perception?
I got 19, I think.
All right, Raelynn.
Yeah.
11. Good thing I'm with you.
You're kind of standing outside of where she's set up, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of like trying to stand, because if he recognized me, I don't want to be right beside her to be like a beacon to draw attention. But
He does notice you as he walks past, and he gives you just the slightest of nods, acknowledging that he sees you. Doesn't seem to notice Nyra. Nyra, you maybe like catch a glimpse of him as he passes by, but it's very quick just because of the angle of the booth you're sitting at. But however, what you do notice is like directly outside your booth, straight, you can see the bar, and you see exactly this picturesque idea of a man that Mira seems to have described to you. Bald, handsome is like like it's very based on your own perception, but he's like he has very severe features, like very strong jaw, very strong eyebrow area. Like it's just all very buff and masculine, and kind of looks a little bit odd for an elvish person. Like you would normally see them very slender and slight. And this guy is just huge. But the one thing that really gives it away to you is the bald head. It seems like most of the people coming here are coming here for very specific reasons. They're meeting with people. There seems to be a lot of business exchange happening that Raelynn kind of picks up on. People have come here and set up to like work almost over drinks and food. And so you only get the occasional person coming through. They seem to, the ones that stop here seem to have come from like the festival and the trade ward. They seem to not be residents of Mournhold. But yeah, Vael, eventually, you and Leif, you hear Chinook let out a single bark that gets abruptly stopped because he then recognizes that this was a person he saw earlier. And Kael makes his way over to sit with you. There's a couple of seats kind of in a little circular fashion, just like downstairs. He goes, evening, gentlemen.
Evening. Oh, Abby, this is our friend Kael.
Right, yes. Good to see you.
He kind of looks Leif over. And he holds out his hand. Right. You can call me Kael. I hear that I'm your guys' sponsor for your stay here. How generous of me.
I let him handle all these things.
So I should blame him.
Well, you're welcome to. But,
Something tells me you like that sort of thing.
Sorry?
Something tells me you like that sort of thing.
Does my rumor precede me that well? My reputation.
I've heard some things. Good to put a face to a name.
And no. I'm trying. Literally, it's me reining myself in and Vael reining himself in, knowing
a double reign.
Yeah, it's a double reign because Nyra is supposedly fated to this guy, and Vael would not want to interfere with such things. So instead of saying, "What would you hold against my face?" He'll say...
Character growth.
Something's wrong. Anyway.
Here doesn't want him.
Nope, not doing it. I don't care that he's hot. I've lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
You seem a little bit tongue-tied there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but your reputation also precedes you a little bit. And, well, I think it's best that we keep things professional.
Oh, was I not being professional? Sorry. He kind of sits down.
No, you're fine. It's just that I tend to take... See, I can't say that either.
Does Vael actually say that?
Yeah, Vael's not good at controlling himself. This is really, really difficult.
Okay.
Jeez.
I think we're gonna need some wine.
Do you just want me to talk tonight?
No, I'll be okay. It's...
Okay.
Are you okay? You sound a little bit tired.
Yeah, I had a rough night. I'll be fine.
Well, there's a big party in town. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with your continuing to be fine.
We'll see.
Well, she is a lovely performer.
She's incredible.
So what was this business talk that you wanted to be so professional about?
Well, first of all, I wanted to apologize about how you found out we used your name. We had every intention of making face-to-face arrangements once we had the opportunity, and it was unfortunate that we were thrown together under such scrutinizing eyes.
Well, it all worked out. No harm done. But I appreciate the thought.
And with that said, we do have some questions about how all of this was even possible for you.
He looks at Leif and then kind of glances down the balcony at Lena. And how all of what exactly?
Well, they're reasonably in private, right? Like there's no...
Yeah. I will throw it out there that you have been to places where Nyra has found scrying sensors.
True.
So, and you would have that in mind, probably.
Yeah. Keeping that in mind, I think what Vael will say is, now that I think about it, it might be best to save those questions until we're behind closed doors and we can make sure there's no hidden eyes.
That's for the best.
For all of us, I think. But I do have questions for Kael. Such as, how does one get them and their party invited into the Glimmerfall ward?
You unfortunately are asking the wrong person now, it seems. I seem to have had my usual invitation not extended to me this go around. And it's unclear as to why exactly. And I am not wanting to press questions in that area at the moment.
Okay, that's fair. However, having been a regular attendee, I'm sure you know who we could talk to.
Right. Resources are still usable, of course. There's a very dim-witted but compassionate fellow that I have worked at befriending over the years that I've been coming here. You're looking for a Mr. Dorian Vael. It's VL capital LYS. He the traveling sort. He's sort of a emissary of culture from Endelos. He's kind of the philanthropy type. It's one of those roles that feels so vague but important, so people want him places. It did take me a good, better part of a year to really get an in with him. But I suppose that I could extend a introduction your way. That would help you all.
Would be greatly appreciated.
What is the nature of your business here so that I can inform him that it's worth his time to do so?
Well, Vaelthar is here procuring and sourcing rare oddities and magical trinkets, expensive items for wealthy people of the capital.
Then you'll definitely... Yeah, I think that'll be good for you. He's sort of gullible in a sense. I feel bad taking... He is a very nice man from what I've seen, but I've had to do what I've had to do in order to progress here.
Friendly, gullible, and powerful are my favorite types.
He likes a good story. Doesn't really ask any follow-up questions that would really put you in a corner either, so either of you could probably tell him anything and he would believe it. Make sure that whatever situation you're in is a one-on-one thing and that no one else can be there to point it out.
Makes sense. There is an old friend we hope to meet up with in the Glimmerfall. I don't know if there's anything you can tell us about Commander Chistana.
I have met her a few times. The first time I met her, she was very involved in every aspect of the party. The second time I met her, less so. The third time she stayed up on the balcony watching the whole thing from a distance. She, very transparent woman in her want of power. I feel like it almost seems to work for everybody that is around her. She's not really playing at a game, it seems. It's just out on the table.
And how does that pair with the rumors of her becoming somewhat reclusive of late?
Yeah, that's the tricky thing, isn't it? She seems so transparent that I didn't bother to ask any deeper questions until it was too late to do so.
Interesting.
She's now just like almost like she hosts these parties just to control who's there and look over them. I don't see her engaging all that much anymore.
Just wielding what influence she can from a distance.
Trying to stay relevant, maybe.
Hmm.
It is. She has been retired, so politicking is probably her only avenue right now. And I don't know why she decided to hide herself away, but she's at least trying to keep something up.
And I hear she's rather formidable.
Well, she was a commander at the academy here. Do you guys know about that?
What do we know about it?
Do you guys know about that? That's what he said.
No, not really. We know that she was involved in a project, that she was very powerful and influential. Then all of a sudden she started hiding away.
But you're aware of the mages here and what they do.
Not as aware as we ought to be.
I don't think anyone is as aware as they ought to be honest.
All right, well, let's stop dancing around it, and why don't you tell me what we should know?
Perhaps under less prying eyes.
That's fair. That's fair.
I will
But,
tell you that I've become familiar with them. There was a point where I was even asking to train under them. I was curious, but apparently they're not taking on people of my age.
It is harder to manipulate a mature mind.
Well, he kind of turns his attention to Lena and then just listens to her set for a little bit and then looks over at Leif and he's like, "You're have you guys noticed anything interesting of your people here?"
You might say that.
And has anyone given you trouble?
Not yet. I saw one of them carted off to some sort of hospital or medical facility of some variety.
So they're here in town now.
Yeah. Bunch of them from what I hear.
Interesting.
That's a word for it.
The people that I know of, your people that I know of, don't seem like the type to roll over and forfeit things.
We're not. There's no, whatever's going on, nothing's been forfeit, I'm sure.
I have people here. People who can keep an eye on that progression if you guys are intending to join our caravan along the way. Is that something that is of interest to you?
It'd be a good idea to keep an eye on them. That's for sure, regardless of what we do.
Besides, I think it'll be pertinent to be exiting the city before long.
There. Well, hopefully we have a very productive chat before then. You guys have been brought wine during this conversation, as Phil has requested. And he kind of pours himself some, and he asks you about, speaking of privacy, the room.
Ah, yes. He slides the key across. You are in room 5 next to Lena.
Thank you for that.
My
Wasn't sure
pleasure.
how quickly it would fill up here.
Fortunately, we have an inn with Lady Alaris.
Trustworthy, then?
I think so, though we haven't exactly revealed all of our secrets.
Useful, then?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
But for now, I say we enjoy the performance, enjoy the setting and atmosphere, and we can talk when the rest of the gang is ready.
Yeah, and you guys do so. And during that time, Raelynn, you see that there is a man dressed in mostly black. He has a black cape with a high sort of neck flare to it. All of it is trimmed in gold. Everything that he's wearing just looks very pristine. He has these gold rimmed round glasses. He's an older human. He's an older elvish man. And he has short hair that is it's almost so, it's like a platinum blonde, it almost looks white. He also has a little bit of his sideburns kind of come down a little bit longer on the side. Looks like a sort of later in years elvish person. Doesn't look old exactly, but definitely not around Vael age. And he seems to have noticed that Nyra has been giving out these fortunes, and these readings, and he's been kind of making his way a little bit towards where you guys are. He started off in a meeting with somebody else, and then he made his way to the bar and has kind of been nursing a drink, kind of flicking glances over in the direction of the booth. And then finally he kind of just seems to down the rest of his drink, put it down, and he walks over. He's kind of tugs his coat more snugly on his shoulders, and he goes, excuse me.
Yes?
Very curious as to what is going on here. I thought perhaps the young lady was in some sort of business meeting, but then I saw several other people come and go, and I've got to admit my curiosity has gotten the better of me.
Oh, you should go talk to her. She reads people's fortunes. It's a wonderful thing.
reads fortunes.
Yeah, she'll tell you your past, your present, your future.
And the future comes true?
If you wish it to become true, then yes.
Well,
Did you
I'm
want me to take you over? I could do it, no problem.
Sure. Is there some sort of cost to this?
Just 2 gold pieces.
Oh, that's yeah. This seems like nothing to him, and he like, takes it out and.
She accepts tips if you enjoyed yourself, though.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
You're like, I do.
Shh.
Raylan's trying to get you guys paid.
I get us paid.
Right before you kind of like take him completely over to her, he does pause. And what exactly is your role here?
I'm just here to enjoy the show and help my friend out if she needs water in between her reads.
Oh, right, and he definitely seems like a little bit nervous.
What's your name, friend?
My name's Emmerich.
Emmerich?
Yes.
And what would you like your fortune to be told about? Usually she'll ask you a question.
Well, actually, I'm a little bit concerned for my son right now. He's a very important person, and I'm worried he's losing himself to that importance to some degree. Is that something that she would be able to tell me about?
Oh, she tells you nothing. The cards tell you everything.
Oh. That is a bit exciting.
I do wish for your son's happiness, though, when things turn out.
I appreciate that. It's difficult when your children are grown up and you can't just tell them what to do. All right, I'll go in there. And he kind of musters up something in him.
You have nothing to worry about. I'll be just at the bar if you need me.
Thank you. And he makes his way kind of tentatively looks in and just waves. And then goes, do I just sit?
Yes, please.
All right. And he slides in. And he goes, oh, I'm Emmerich. Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Lily.
Very beautiful name. So, what do I do?
Well, as my friend explained, you will pull 3 cards. One of past, one of present, one of future. It is important to really think about what your concerns. What is it you do here, Emmerich?
Oh, well, nothing really anymore. I used to give, I used to teach classes at the academy, and I then moved on to lectures at the Spiral Archive because it sort of fit me a little bit better. And now most of my lectures are on paper there, and people can just read them whenever they feel like it. So I suppose I'm just a remnant now.
Oh, I don't think that's true. It's important to remember the past as well. People need to know how these things came to be.
Very beautifully put.
Thank you. So, what is your concerns that brings you to my table?
Right. Well, your friend there said that you might be able to relieve me of some of my concerns, or at least give me some clarity on them.
I cannot promise good news, but maybe knowing something ahead of time will prepare you for it.
Well, it's my son. How much do you need to actually know about them before you can really give any accurate reading?
Well, the cards could mean many things depending on the circumstances. Knowing enough to determine what they're trying to tell you helps me.
It's just his work is a little bit sensitive, and I don't know you, so.
I understand. I am very used to people wishing for privacy in these moments. And I can assure you I don't speak out of turn.
All right, well. My eldest son, Matthew, he's has a very important role in the capital. And I'm sensing that there is a coming vote that he's been stressed about, that he will be able to weigh heavily on. And I've concerned that he's not the same young man that I raised, in that he doesn't value the things that I taught him to hold dear anymore. My concern is that his vote will negatively affect a lot of people.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But he also hasn't spoken to me in about a year or so, and so I could be wrong about him, and I just hope to know if, I suppose, if whatever way he is going to vote is going to cause issue for people who don't deserve it.
All right. We can read the cards, but just be aware that is how they may feel in this moment. If something were to happen, your son may change his mind. Like if maybe his father visits him.
So the things that you read can be altered still. They're not set in stone.
The future is never one thing. It is sometimes what we make it. If the cards tell you an answer you do not like, maybe there's something you could do to change that.
I suppose that gives me a little bit more confidence going into this, because I was worried you would tell me something bad would happen and there's nothing I can do to change it. But, all right. Let's do this after we take a break.
Yay!
But yeah, we're gonna take a break. Maybe let David eat some more food if he can. I gotta go wrangle some children, and when we come back, we'll figure out what this guy is so freaking worried about, and if he needs to continue to be worried about it. But yeah, everyone go get drinks, and we will be back. Welcome back. So we're about to have Nyra with Dreamy as acting as the
I'm merely the
energies
oracle.
of the universe. Figure out what the hell Emmerich is freaking out about, or if he needs to be freaking out about anything. So, Nyra, you are ready to flip your first card here.
Yep.
All right. This is the first one. It is the Four of Cups. I had the line picked out that I wanted to say, but when difficult situations present themselves in our lives, or when the world around us becomes overwhelming and intrusive, we must retreat and mull things over before getting back into the fray. The danger can be retreating too far within ourselves. We become detached and defensive.
Emmerich's gonna get some therapy here.
I know. Like, okay, so sorry, can you read that again?
Yes. Oh no. Hold on.
Sorry.
It's okay. Here we go. When difficult situations present themselves, we must retreat and mull over things before getting back into the fray. The danger can be that we become so inward focused that we become detached and defensive.
Okay.
And that was the cups card.
The Four of Cups.
So when you flip that over, he's like leaning. Like, well, cups seem pretty harmless, right?
Cups are about how much we can hold, if you want to think of it that way. This card for your past is talking about how when you were faced with difficult decisions and situations, you would retreat to consider your options, think things through, but sometimes maybe you went too far to that retreat, to the detriment to your loved ones.
I'm gonna.
I was like, does he look like he needs a hug?
He seems like he tries to stifle some sort of emotional response to that, and you see right through it. You see him lean back in his seat, and his eyebrows go up, and he looks like he goes through, like, first it looks like, oh, that like makes sense, but then as you continue to say it, you see guilt. Like there's a little darting in his eyes, some sort of shame there. I see. It's, all right, let's hear the next one then. He seems like now he's really scrutinizing the process.
Okay. Present.
The Three of Swords is the card of heartbreak, sorrow, grief, and hurt. When wounds heal, they often leave a mark and change us forever, physically and emotionally. And for better or for worse, they teach us something. No card is completely negative, not even the often dreary swords.
That one looks less good.
The swords have different meaning, but on the three, it talks about the heartbreak you are feeling these days. The sadness you have from wounds that may never fully heal.
Interesting.
But it's not a bad thing to be marked by such wounds. They teach us things. Lessons that we need to learn our whole lives.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I will carry this lesson with me forever. I know exactly what that card is talking about.
Is it your son or?
Partially. We had a falling out when his mother left me. And she had good reason to.
These are difficult things that weigh on your heart and mind.
Yes. I've made my choices. They've led me here, and at least it's good to know that I can still salvage something from them, I suppose.
There's always time. As long as we are living, it is not too late.
Yes, well, it's not really on me to mend this particular instance. I would be an awful man to expect a sort of forgiveness that I would need to ask for.
It's not a bad thing for people who've hurt us to let us know they regret it. You may not get that forgiveness, but it may heal your son in a way that he needs.
I can appreciate that. I will keep that in mind. You can see that he flicks a glance over at the bar, like almost like he wishes that he had brought a drink with him here. And he's like, all right, let's see that next one then.
You must think hard about this vote your son is going to have. Concentrate on him and what you hope for the world.
If only there was a mind reader here to...
Okay.
Yeah, you can see that he gently closes his eyes, and you can tell that he's been swayed by the process and that he is open to it.
He pulls justice.
Justice. Okay. I don't know what that means.
Wow.
Wow.
Justice calls us to account. In a reading, justice encourages us to be fair, objective, and compassionate. She wants us to take responsibility for our actions, seek the truth, and accept or pass judgment with a clear head and an open heart.
Do these cards say, like, do you picture that the cards actually say the words on them?
I've got...
Okay.
So the Major Arcana has the name of it on there?
Like in game.
Hmm.
Would he see that it says
Gotcha.
justice when you
What's your
put it down?
It's your deck. What do you think?
It's your... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
Forgot
is Alina's. Yeah.
It's Alina's
Yeah,
deck.
I'll say that Alina's deck is this deck, because these
Okay.
are fantasy enough that...
So when you put that card down, his eyebrows again just kind of, they go up, and this time he doesn't say anything about it. He just looks at you expectantly.
This vote your son will have to face. What worries you? How will it hurt others?
He kind of looks around. His position allows him to have final say on the next stages of what we're going through here. And I'm concerned that his perceptions of the people north of us are a little bit dated. A lot dated.
Justice card, it calls for us to account for ourselves. That we must be compassionate and fair to others. That we must seek the truth. If your son is to vote for the betterment of us all, someone needs to show him that truth.
He is going to, he actually does sigh, and then he just is quiet for a bit, looking up at the light fixture over the table that you're sitting at. And then he reaches into his pocket. He places something down on the table, and he goes, "Thank you for everything. I have to go." And
Nyra
then
will, when he puts his hand down, she'll put her hands on his and hold him for a second. It is difficult to love a child, just as it's difficult to love a parent. But I have faith in you. She'll let go.
Instead of leaping quickly as he was going to in response to that, he pauses for a bit longer. And you can see a little bit of like mistiness in his eyes. And he goes, I hope that my daughter is as wise as you are someday.
What
And
is her name?
Oh, he goes, I actually don't know. I was part of the whole thing with my wife. I was unfaithful a long time ago, when I was a lot more foolish. I just know that she's out there. And he takes his hand off, and when he leaves, Nyra, you see that there's a extra platinum piece on the table as he leaves. Raelynn, you said you were going to be by the bar, right?
Yeah, I was waiting for the bar to give him space, and then I'm getting Nyra a water.
Okay.
And then I was probably going to get him a water because he looked nervous, so.
Well, he kind of intercepts you at the bar, places a hand on your shoulder and says, "Thank you for convincing me to go there." And then he kind of waves a finger at the approaching bartender, who was actually coming to meet Raelynn at the bar, but kind of steals the attention to him and says, "This one and her friend, you can put their tab, or put their things on my tab." And he kind of clutches your shoulder, and you can see that there's like a little bit of teariness at the corner of his eyes, and he just like he seems to want to like quickly retreat from the space, and he makes his way through the tavern and out the door.
Yeah, Raelynn would have just nodded at him as like a thank you, but kind of read the situation and let him go. She walks over to Nyra. "So, how did it go?"
It was interesting. His son sits on a council in this capital. they're going to vote soon on the next stages of the war.
Oh.
But if Alina's magic cards are right, it might not be as bad as we think.
I'll keep my fingers crossed.
He might be worth finding if we can when we go down there.
All right. I brought you water. You're welcome. Do you want to continue doing this, or do you think we should meet up with the boys? Or
Is he here?
understood? He's still here, and he is with the boys.
I think maybe at the break I will escort Alina upstairs and prepare myself for what is to come.
Okay. Once I see you go, maybe I'll head up to them. Okay. You did great.
Oh,
She
thank you.
put her hand on her hand.
I think our cards are actually magical. It's so
You-
strange.
Will you read my fortune then?
Sure.
Actually, I don't know if I want that.
It's hard.
No.
And she points to the guy who left.
Yeah.
Some can be hard. Maybe one night when we've left this town, I'll do all of our fortunes.
I would like that.
Maybe Alina should. They are hers.
But you have the gift.
Maybe.
Give yourself credit.
I will. Thank you for helping tonight.
I've really done nothing.
You've kept him away, so I appreciate it.
Okay, I can do that. Vael's probably talking his ear off and doing all the Vael things he does, charming him.
Hey, I'm only talking this time.
No, you don't. No, but Raelynn thinks you're like the be-all,
That's fair.
end-all of like,
That's fair.
you're really good.
Yes, they
Number
both
one
have.
fangirl.
They both have those silver tongues. It'd be interesting to see who'd come out on top.
We'll have front row seats.
You're doing it purposely now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I am.
that's
It's
something I'd
fun.
like to watch.
We need to just see if them use their tongues on each other and who's on top.
Exactly.
It's simple.
I know what I said.
All right. So, Vael is probably talking Kael's ear off, but Kael is matching him every step of the way. Probably much to Leif's dismay. There is a lot of like, it's you're
You're
muted.
If they sell pitchers here, Leif just has one and is drinking it like a regular beer.
yeah, that is what you're doing right now.
Oh yeah,
Got a little
Raelynn would tell
straw
you
in it.
drinks are on that guy if you want to have a few before meeting Kael.
It's difficult feeling bad for someone who's messed up their own life so much, but I hope things turn out well for him.
All right. So over the course of the night, I've done my math here in what Alina has earned for her performance on rolling an at 20 for a 26. You have from the patrons and the like little collection things that are going around, you got 45 gold pieces. At the end of your set, Lady Alaris gives you 15 gold pieces for the night. That is due to you bringing in what she perceives as extra business. And you were left a tip by a noble that left it at the bar, and you got 10 gold pieces out of that.
Well done.
I would like Nyra to roll a religion check for me.
Alina and Nyra personally funding this spy escapade.
right?
Whoa.
No, you're doing a great job. We couldn't do it without you. We couldn't do it without you. You got to take your 10%.
Okay. In the tower or out?
You could do it out in the open.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna use an inspiration for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Over the course of the night, you got, let's see. You were charging 2 gold pieces per reading, correct?
But, like Raelynn was encouraging tips.
Yep, I'm gonna say that you earned 23 gold pieces plus the platinum piece that you were left. So that's including what he paid you.
So 23 plus a platinum.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I just group loot all this, guys? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you had maybe like, including him, maybe 8 or 9 people show up, and then some of them left some extra coin for you at the end of it.
Very much appreciate you group looting all this money because I have a very bad time tracking money.
All right. But the night comes to an end, mostly. Near this when it seems like it's winding down, Kael is like, should I go somewhere and wait, or is it not suspicious at all for us to all head back to a room for a chat?
Well, your room is at the top, as is Lena's, and Lena and her companions are known friends of ours now that we've met at the Bronze Fist. So
All right.
I think we can skip the espionage for one night and just make things happen.
All right then. Well, I will.
Sorry, Dreamy.
It's Alina skulking around in the background while everyone else is walking.
Just like Kronk in Emperor's New Groove. She's got her own like theme music.
She didn't get to skulk last night with everybody else.
Nobody invited me.
You were busy.
Doing a different.
But you were busy, girlfriend.
Yeah, so I think that now I'm mixing up Vael and Kael. Kael is going to get a bottle of wine and also orders another pitcher for Leif to drink.
Much appreciated.
And yeah, he just kind of leads the way then to his room. And whatever the 3 of the ladies are doing, I don't know what Nyra's plan here is. Are you following everybody?
Nyra went up at the break
Okay.
and is in her room. Just like waiting for the last moment to not have to see it.
All right.
Raelynn got a bottle of wine to like on that guy's tab to bring up to the boys to then go up with the boys.
So we're going up with 2 bottles of wine, a pitcher of beer.
And did y'all go to his room or my room?
I think we followed him to his room for now.
Yes, which is right next
especially
door.
because I know that Nyra's still trepidatious about this whole thing, so I wouldn't interject, but then I would certainly let everyone know that we're there.
Okay.
I would probably just kick our door.
I'll go check on Nyra and see how she wants to do this. Nyra?
Chinook is just like,
Oh, I've been playing with. He's gotten way too many treats since I've been up there.
Oh,
Sorry.
he's with me.
Oh. Okay. Sorry.
Nyra, it's time. They're all in the next room.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes. I'm just gonna. She will. How long does this last? She'll not concentration. She's just gonna have see invisibility up in case there's any sensors in the room.
Good choice.
Just in case. This place is weird.
yeah, you when you put that up, you don't see anything in your room. You don't see anything in the hallway. I guess only Vael would know this, but Lady Lars did note that she likes to have some privacy here. But yeah, you then join everybody in the room.
Yeah, she'll come in last.
Right, so Kael and Kael goes in, lets Vael, Leif, Raelynn, and Lena goes to check on Nyra after Raelynn gives the door a little kick. and
a wolf from the hall.
A wolf.
And Kael kind of looks around the room. He's like, "Oh, maybe I should be staying places more often. I normally just stay in my tent." And he kind of slings his some of his outer layers onto the back of one of the couches and takes a seat and kind of just waits for everyone else to settle, but then realizes that Alina had left for a moment. And when Alina comes back and Nyra kind of hesitantly makes her way into the room. He
I would
He
make
goes-
introductions, but I think you two know each other.
Kael goes, "Oh," he starts off with, "Oh, you have another friend with you." And then when Alina says that, he goes, "Ah, so there's no need for pretense then."
Not on our part. Kaelin.
I wasn't expecting to see you here.
This is the last place I was expecting to see you.
Is it that much of a surprise, though?
That you're down in Savon?
Well, from what I hear, I'm a shady sort of guy back home.
I don't think I know you at all to make that judgment.
Well, that isn't really any of my doing, though I don't hold it against you that that's the case.
Why are you here, Kaelin? Or is it Lord Kael?
I'm sensing a little bit of hostility from this general direction.
And I'm
I
standing right by Nyra.
I could ask you the same thing.
Yes. But I don't have the authority to tell you that.
Well, I don't have any obligation to be completely transparent with all the things that I'm doing here, but I feel like our goals are probably similar based on the conversations I've had with your friends. I've been doing this a very long time. It is something I think we should have done a long time ago.
Doing what exactly?
Finding out what they're up to down here.
I would like to make an insight check, please.
All right.
Predominantly, what I'm wondering is it truly like all this altruistic, or was there personal gain in it for him as well?
I have to check something.
Interesting.
Indeed.
Vael recognizes all the signs of a game that he would play, but it's hard to tell. Like, if that's what your goal is, like to get those types of details, it's impossible to tell where he's coming from.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's fair. Given the neutral state of things, I'm going to assume that he's also after personal gain to some level. But he's just pouring a large glass of wine and watching with a very entertained look on his face.
I've been using what I've learned back home to work my way up here. Everything is so tight-lipped that I can't find out anything useful unless I am also useful to everybody here. And I don't get the support that I need in order to do these types of things out in the open from the people back home. Which is why I'm kind of surprised to see all of you here.
This is what I've been saying. We're too disconnected, too disjointed. We don't support each other. There's no joint operations until now when it's absolutely fucking desperate. But we're here now because things are desperate.
Yes, that is accurate. There are too many things for me to look into at this point, and I'm now spread thin, and I was supposed to not even come here. This was supposed to be my 6 months back home, and now I'm here again after a 2-month stint back home. Things are getting a little bit unstable on both sides for me now.
Who ordered you to come down here and do this?
Ordered.
You did this of your own volition.
Yes, well, I tried to get into politics and, well, it didn't work out for me. And if I couldn't make any headway on that front, I decided to take a more hands-on approach. I haven't been working alone, though. There are other people in Ed Gareth that feel similarly or have felt similarly over the years and weren't listened to. I have some support in Drados. They've been a big support to me and covering for me, and well,
Certainly explains why you escaped my network.
Yes, well, the less people know about me and the more rumors about me, the better. Even if it has led to a bit of a lonelier lifestyle.
And what about us? You recognized me instantly. Did you recognize the rest of us as well?
He kind of looks around the room. I recognize some regional things. He kind of Vael, you are mostly like covering your skills, right? But you do have some that are
Yeah, it'd be unrealistic to keep them all hidden at all times.
Yeah, he kind of gestures to Vael. Being the last of your lineage, that kind of puts you at the kind of narrows it down for me. I've never met though. He looks at Leif. Kind of obvious there.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're We have a mutual friend. He looks at Raelynn when he says that.
We do.
Back in Drados.
Kajiro?
He's been a very steady ear over the years. Loves to hear about my travels. Kind of looks at them piningly every time I tell him one.
He does seem like he wants to be on the other side of the ocean rather than tracking all the ships coming and going.
He has me bring back something for him each time I'm out here, even though that could breach all sorts of things for me and put him under some scrutiny. He insists upon it.
Does he help you with supplies then, in return?
Yes, and he's very good at keeping the books looking a certain way for me.
And he's not one for chatter, so that's good too.
I'm a little bit he kind of looks at Nyra. Sorry. And there seems to be like a wall almost that goes up for a moment. It's just like, seems you guys have all caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting another person here, and I certainly wasn't expecting to see Nyra here.
I apologize for my discretion on this matter, but Nyra's a trusted ally, and she wished us not to say anything.
And I'm glad that she's found people who care for her in the way that she deserves. So.
Did you go to my father or grandfather about this?
About coming here?
Not sure. Desire that we should know more.
I didn't really plead too hard with them, to be honest. They seemed like they didn't want to be so entangled with the other houses. And this would definitely entangle us further with each other. Can't just send people across the border and not tell anybody about it, right? Kind of smirks at all of you. Cause some sort of scandal, I'm sure. Maybe I should have. I wanted to appear a certain way, I suppose. Perhaps that was foolish. Does he know you're here?
No. But he knows I am doing something for the head house. And that should stay that way.
I know that you're loyal to your people. And if you see this as some sort of betrayal, I will completely understand if you need to adhere to your own values on the matter and say something. But I do hope that you can see past the initial stupidity of mine in being so discreet and secretive about things. And perhaps I should have been the one to initiate you knowing me better. I had wished to give you your space because you seemed very uncertain of me.
Are they not your people too?
Yes, but I won't be the one. Well, I don't think I'll be the one having more of a say over them someday. I care about them, but obviously I am outranked here a little bit.
It's not about rank. They are our people. All of ours. And she looks at the rest of the houses.
So you're not gonna out me then?
I have no intention of turning a blind eye to a friendly face behind enemy lines.
It would do a disservice to us all, to be honest.
I just
However,
want to
if I
know.
do... Go ahead.
I just want to know the truth.
About
So, you? All of it.
Well, it sounds like we'll be traveling together for a bit, so perhaps we have time for that. Truthfully, those are words I never thought I would hear you say, though I hoped for that to be the case.
Let's get through how long you've been doing this and what exactly you've learned first.
All right, well, I've been working my way up here for the past 7 or so years. I've become known as Kael Vesryn. Not too far removed from my reality back home, a merchant, someone who's known for moving supplies and goods all over here and getting pretty good deals between the states. I was telling Vael that I've had to use some less than charming means at times, and noting people who are more, let's say, receptive to thinking differently, which Mournhold has plenty of, though it would be difficult to take the people here down. The citizens here are very, maybe it's because of how close they are to the border, but they're very receptive to change, at least behind closed doors, maybe not so much out in the open. I've been traveling along with the caravan each time I come through, just because I get to check on so many other states along the way and what they're up to. However, I had to come back here because something is happening in Zardan that I cannot figure out from a distance.
What have you heard?
They are quietly moving a lot of materials that I cannot get a read on. Normally, I'm in the loop about these sorts of dealings, and the fact that there's so much material being moved south when we are having a war in the north is very concerning. There's lack of documentation for it. They are moving it out at odd times of day. I've had someone tracking in the city shipments that go out at a regular interval early in the morning hours before the power goes back on.
Have you seen this substance, materials?
I haven't, but I was planning on tracking down one of the wagons that's supposed to go out through the field ward tomorrow. But I have one volunteer with me, and he's downstairs getting shit-faced drunk, so I don't think that'll pan out too well.
We'll do it.
Yeah, I'm in.
Building supplies. Building materials.
I get the sense that you guys know something that I don't.
Just that. The man from the field ward spoke of how they've had to double up because of so much requests from Zardan, while they also have to deal with everything north of here. What they are building, I do not know.
Yes, and that's what I would like to figure out. If we can get our hands on what it is that they're moving, or maybe figure out who it's going to, then maybe we can figure out what it's being used for.
Well, we can stop this one shipment. We'll know what it is that they're moving. Hopefully we can have some sort of manifest that points to a destination.
He looks around at all the the booze that everyone brought up, and he goes, "We might want to take it easy tonight then, if we're planning on having an early morning."
I disagree. This might be our last night. So I say, let's enjoy it.
It's hard to argue with that. Nyra, did I satisfy your question?
For now.
All right, then. There is the path that the wagon takes, the my information tells me that there is one spot in particular that might be best to intercept it. It's how familiar are you all with the city at this point?
Getting there.
All right, well, there is a factory in the trade ward. There is about one road that goes out south of it, but it travels out in the open for a while. However, there is a spot that it travels through some back alleyways in the very southern portion of the field ward. I think they might have another exit there that is not, strictly speaking, for public use. If you can,
somewhere included like that is ideal.
if you can get a hang on that, maybe after you're gonna have to be careful about it. People are still gonna be at their homes at that time. Or at the very least, be able to go unidentifiable.
We can manage that for the most part.
All right, well, if you are willing to take care of that for me, then I can take care of some other matters that I need to attend to. Like what exactly it is that your people are up to here. And maybe I have a friend to talk to you about, or to talk to about a certain event coming up.
That would be very much appreciated.
I think
Alright.
the answer to what my people are doing here and what's happening with these shipments are at least related a little bit.
Is there anything I should know that would be useful, or is it merely speculation at this point?
Gonna look around to the rest of the group and we have it on good authority that we encountered a group of the local military who was waiting in a remote mountain pass for the receipt of a shipment coming down from the north.
He's like trying to. I know that we have a lot of untouched land in Hedgareth, but I can't even imagine what we would have that would be so useful.
They seem interested in some sort of blue powdery mineral.
And from what I can tell, it looks like they even have interest in venturing further north for Tempest Iron.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, I'll be sure to keep that in mind then when I'm looking around. Thank you. The area that you're looking for, there's it's at the edge of the farmland in the southern ward. There's it's right off the main road that leads out of the factory. I would say intercept it quickly from there so that whoever's waiting for it at wherever it's going to has less time to notice that it's not arriving, or more time. with that, he just kind of like pours out some drinks for everybody. And it's like, well, to hopefully not our last night. And he raises up a toast to all of you.
Doing something stupid and coming out the other side.
Kind of our MO at this point.
3 days in a row.
I feel like I've been doing it for a little bit longer.
Well, yeah. Is there anything anyone wants to do with that evening, or are we good to say that everyone gets to their rooms?
I'll check on Nyra before we go to sleep, see how she's doing.
Nyra probably stayed for one drink and then excused herself to get back to her room.
And I will as well.
Leif falls asleep in a chair at some point and needs to be reminded that this isn't his room.
And there should be two beds
on the couch.
Raelynn, would you help me get him down the stairs?
Megan.
So you mean, yeah, no, it's fine.
What?
Well, I just feel like I'll be doing most of the lifting in this scenario, but it's fine.
Just like,
I'm not exactly a wet noodle, you understand.
I understand. We'll help. She's had wine, okay? She's sassy.
Yeah.
That's fine. No, I'm here for it.
There's gonna be a shushing happening.
There's no shush moment.
I think Leif has woken up over this argument over who's going to help him and starts trying to leave by himself.
Leif is also how many levels of exhaustion and
4.
And
just let me
2
carry you
pitcher of ale
over the whole evening.
The 2 of us are we got you.
Yeah, like, I don't expect that we have to carry him. It's just to watch him
like
on
a
the
shoulder
stairs
on,
situation.
yeah, like
Yeah,
make sure he's not
just
gonna
make sure he
fall
doesn't
over.
fall.
If he falls this way, I push you. If he falls this way, we push him.
You do have to go
bickering
down a
the
flight
whole
of stairs.
time, back and forth.
Can I deflect attacks against the ground?
You have snowfall yet?
Yeah.
You fall down the stairs, but deflect the blow.
Great cool.
Like to parry the stairs.
Wow, I feel like we're stretching the rules a little bit, but I like that.
Just creative. We're creative.
So Nyra, how are you?
I don't know.
Okay to not know.
I don't know if we can trust him.
We don't have a lot of people we can trust at this point.
No. It's just a long time to lead 2 lives.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know which is the real one.
For this many years, he probably doesn't either.
Vixx, would Nyra have known what he meant when he said he tried to get into politics?
Um,
Or is that when she was still a child?
she was probably fairly young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he's been a merchant for like pretty much the entire time you've known of him.
Mm-hmm. It's all just very odd. And it's difficult to confirm his story about Tratos.
Well, Raelynn and he have a common friend, so maybe she knows whether this friend's trustworthy or not.
A visit might be needed. Someday. We've got a lot to do down here.
Yes, I'm worried about what we'll find further south.
Things in the southern regions are odd too.
If we run into anyone else from up north, at least one of us wasn't recognized, but I'm not worth recognizing.
You were hidden away for a long time.
Second child from a nothing house, so.
You're not a nothing house. Your house is where everyone is fleeing to now. You are the safe place.
See if you can rest tonight, Nyra. Give her a little forehead kiss.
Her forehead's warm, but not because she has a fever.
All right. Eventually, you guys get your rest. And if you're trying to wake up pretty early, does Leif and Vael have any sort of like difficulty getting up in the morning? Are they pretty good at doing that?
Pretty good at that generally. Nursing 3 levels of exhaustion now, it might be a little bit slower, but better than yesterday.
What did you say about Vael?
Vail's pretty good about getting up. You know, he's pretty regimented. Likes to get a good start.
All right. So you guys
grooming.
have a bit of an early, quiet morning. Even Chinook seems a little bit like on the chiller side this morning. And the women are actually woken up by a knock at the door. Can decide who among you would be the most likely to get up and hear that.
I'll answer. I didn't have a chance to drink and put on the flirty facade that night, so.
You find one of the young women who were working the bar yesterday. She has a sort of platter in her hand that's covered up. This is she looks at the room number. This was for you, actually. The woman in this room, I believe. It was ordered on your behalf, and she kind of hands the tray off to you. And you could already smell it. It's like delicious breakfast food. You can smell the bacon, and you can smell eggs underneath there. And when you bring it in, and you kind of reveal what's in there, there's a little note card in there. And it seems to be addressed to Nyra from Kael, and it just says, "Good morning."
Whoa.
Hell yeah.
But it does seem like there's enough food on there for all 3 of you.
Been rude if he just sent breakfast to Nyra. What is it the Spice Girls taught us? You want to be my lover?
Have sex with their friends.
Yeah. See, Vael was just trying to help out.
Yeah. He's a girl's girl.
Nyra, you've got something.
I see. It is just so strange.
How often do those visions not come true?
Never. They were the prophecies. It's like your cards. Sometimes the future changes. Not
From what I
like
gather, you've been doing very well with the cards.
where did you get these? I think they're actually magic.
Well, here's the thing about the cards. It's not the cards, it's the one who uses the cards.
That's what I've been saying. Raelynn walks up and grabs some bacon.
I think Cheryl can speak in more than one way.
I mean, I was using them for an actual thing I know from my book, but it's strange how accurate they are sometimes when I'm not trying. She'll pour everyone a cup of tea.
Soon I'd like to see what you pull for me.
Want to know your future?
Yes.
You'll have to do mine.
All right. Now?
We have a very early card to catch.
Mhm.
I need to remind myself how to cast silence.
All right. Well, you enjoy your breakfast, and Nyra spends some time communing with Isherel about how to silence people, maybe even silence some of the feelings she's having in her, in her heart
She
right
also
now.
has calm emotions prepared.
She uses it on herself.
Yeah.
And eventually you guys make your way out of the inn as a group, and it is much more manageable to get through the trade ward at this early hour. It's still fairly dim outside. You can see a lot of like the main well-traveled streets have like lanterns actually like lit. They seem to have prioritized those ones in terms of whoever is going around and lighting these at night. And you begin to make your way back to the field ward. And
before we actually left, sorry, Vael wanted to take some time and use his disguise kit to help everyone cover up some of their more prominent features.
okay. Can you roll a check with your kit for that?
Hack my leg off at the knee.
I was like, is it fire resistant? I don't.
Just melts off
What
its
is
wax
the
feet.
what's the ability tied to that?
I've always argued a couple of different things depending on how I was approaching them. I would say performance or sleight of hand, even depending on what you were aiming
Okay, well
for.
then that's going to be a 24.
24. All right. So, yeah.
So, Vael, what about me are you trying to disguise?
Oh, with you, I'm just trying to see what you would look like in different styles.
Into fashion now?
I'm into variety.
So now the guy's kind of been flashy this whole time.
Yeah, the man is so fashionable.
And I can't wait to see you in a turtleneck and just drab colors.
He did do turtleneck.
He did, yeah.
Oh, right.
Although it was like kind of cropped and sleeveless.
Yeah.
And gone in 2 seconds.
Less covering up his markings and more showing them off.
It's got holes cut in at irregular locations.
Yeah.
I like to do a little bit of everything.
I bet you do.
That's just facts. It's not even a slate.
Yeah.
Do you disapprove?
No, just making an observation.
Well, for what it's worth, I think black hair would be very becoming on you.
Just gonna study him for a minute and not say anything. God said it, so I mean.
He just starts grinding some charcoal.
Oh. I can make you a brunette.
We're trying to disguise our appearance.
Alright. Well, you guys get some makeovers at the hands of the very skilled Vael. And you eventually find your way to... I'd imagine you guys kind of start at this factory and kind of work your way to where Kael had told you. And you do see it coming down the road. It's pretty far. Like, the field ward is big. It's going around a huge field. There is a very large wagon that seems to be manned by 2 people sitting on the front of it, kind of taking care of the horses that are pulling the wagon. And then there are 2 people walking on the side of it, and you can see the feet through the bottom of the wagon, that there are 2 more people on the opposite side. And you see one very familiar looking automaton. This little forge-bound boxy thing that you guys had seen at the Bronze Fist Inn is perched on top of the wagon, and standing behind, or walking behind the wagon, is a more humanoid-looking forge-bound. It seems very kind of clanky, shaking on its legs as it walks. But you can kind of see just like the shadow from just the very start of a sunrise behind it, as they travel down the road. But you do find a good spot where there is this alleyway that kind of is going almost like alongside, like perpendicular to the road in the residential area in this district, where you have kind of a good eye on its approach. Takes about half an hour or so before they come into enough view that you see that the 2 people that are sitting on the front of this wagon are 2 of the people that were with Junie the other night. But we will end our session there as you guys attempt to intercept this wagon with these sort of violent, happy people that you met the other night. I'm sure it'll be fine. You can just do this quietly and ask them nicely and it'll go fine, I'm sure. They'll just give you the shipment.
At least we learned we definitely should have picked a side on that fight now.
Maybe.
Maybe
They tried to save her. They abandoned her. So,
maybe they'll be intimidated by somebody who could survive an explosion that so easily killed their boss.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Find out next
I'm
week.
fine.
A puff of black smoke.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting for Leif. At least I did try to time it so that you would get rid of one more level of exhaustion at least.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
How much are you reduced by?
In what way?
What do you have at level 3?
It lowers like all ability checks and stuff, right?
And
All D20 rolls are reduced by 6 right now. All of them.
Oh no.
And my
Yeah.
speed
That's
is
rough.
cut by 15 feet.
At least it's not 8 though.
Nothing for you.
It's not 8. It was 10 for a while.
Oh my god.
Yeah.